Kids at lightning speed 73G English. Problem number one, first thing you want to do over here is prune. If you look over here, you see there's a dependent clause you can cross out. Here's another dependent clause, you can cross that out. You make the sentence shorter, here's another dependent clause. Get rid of all that stuff, prune it out. The correct answer on this one is answer choice B. That still keeps a complete sentence independent. Here, what we want to do is, it's a Formula B question for problem number two. Given all the choices, which one will introduce the topic? If you look over here, we've got introducing the topic here. It says Chinese, and then you look over and see that we have this Chinese name. All right, that's the only one that matches Formula B. Problem number three, it's a tense rule. Here you see that we have the 1860s. We want to simply match that with tense plural versus tense singular. We and are past tense and future tense and present tense. You want to make sure that you match the tenses. Problem number three, the correct answer is C. Problem four, Formula B. If you simply look over here, you see that we want to try and match this up with the correct answer, G. Problem five, it's a tense rule. Just match the tenses. Answer choice D is past tense. And you want to go in and just match the rest of the sentence with that. Remember, past, present, or future, am, is, are. Those am, is, and are, those are present tense. Anything with an ed is going to be past tense. Anything with were or was, were plural, was is singular. All right, is and are singular and plural as well. Just match it up, make it make sense. Problem six, it's also going to be a tense problem. Here we're going to take a look at G. Just simply look at the word here. It says diagnosis. All right, diagnoses. All right. Problem number seven. We're going to use our ears and the razor blade. I see over here we have the word whose. That's people with possession. That's going to be the correct answer. Answer choice B. And answer choice D, it's the M&M rule, who and whom. Answer choice B, we're going to get rid of because razor blade is flat out too long. Problem number eight. Here is going to be a Formula B. I see over here in the pink, it says, hey, became, and then we match it up here with answer choice F. All right. Finally, on this page here, problem number 9, it's a Formula B, and I saw this area right here, and I just simply matched it up with scope of the services with answer choice F. Problem number 10, we're going to use the pruning technique. If you look over here, you see there's a comma here after century and a comma after depression. Simply cross that out, and then you're going to make the sentence quite a bit shorter, much easier to work with. J is the correct answer when you use the pruning technique. Speaking of the pruning technique, problem number 11, we're going to go ahead and prune this one as well. Here's the underlined portion right here. And we're going to go ahead and prune this out here. It says by the state, and then it says of Oregon, and then we're going to go ahead and prune out in the 1970s. When you cross that out, the sentence becomes much shorter, much easier for you to hear and see which one sounds best. C is the correct answer for that one. Problem number 12, real easy, razor blade, simple is best. Problem number 13, simple is best. Check delete. When you check delete first, the sentence is going to get shorter because you're taking it out. Problem number 14, if you look here, this is a Formula B rearranger. What we want to do is we want to take sentence 2 and put it somewhere else. So the thing is if you look up here, you're going to see that we have this word up here in the sentence. It says because up here, all right? And we're talking about the main thing, which is the artifacts. And then now we're going to see that sentence 5 talks about it. So it is the artifacts. So we're going to put it in for 14. After sentence number 5, remember it equals artifacts. It, a hazy pronoun, it's referring back to an animal or an object. J is the correct answer for 14. 15, what you want to do is reduce the stem down. Suppose the author had intended to write an essay about it, and then would this essay fulfill that goal? We basically have restoring the building. Then you go back, you look at the title, you look at your topic sentence and see, is this about restoring the Kam Wan Chung and Company building? The answer is going to be no on that one. It's not. This is just talking about not restoring. Restoring, that word is the wrong verb. C is the correct answer on that one. Remember, Formula A, you got to reduce the stem and then jump on in. Take a look at the titling and the topic sentence. 16, abandoned boxcar. We're going to go ahead and label independent and dependent. When you go ahead and put a comma in after glance, here you're going to say, at first glance, that's dealing with time. That's a dependent clause. Time dilation, first part, is going to be a dependent clause. Then it starts off with a Renaissance fair looks like a theme park. That's going to be independent. G is going to be, H is the correct answer. H, abandoned boxcar, label it. 17, there, T-H-E-I-R versus T-H-E'-Y-R-E. They are, it's improper speech, versus T-H-E-I-R, it's going to be people, plural possessive, or animals, plural possessive. All right, there versus there. And then we have past, P-A-S-S-E-D, and P-A-S-T. If you do a P-A-S-S-E-D, past, that's like passing a football. P-A-S-S is like passing a note or football. And if I walk past the creek, P-A-S-T, or the past year, in the past, it's kind of going by it, or it's talking about in the behind you for time-wise. D is the correct answer on that one. 18, it's structural clues. We're going to use the word yet, which is opposite. If you label your answer choices F, G, H, and J, F says being, that's going to be together. Yet is opposite. And because it's going to be together along with given, that's together. If you read the sentence before and the sentence after the underlined portion, you're going to see that the good stinky rule is opposite. We're violating that, so it's going to be opposite. The two clauses are going opposite direction. G for the correct answer. 18, structural clues. Problem number 19, abandoned boxcar. We're going to label the sentence and the clauses independent and dependent. When you do that, you see right away that we don't need a comma. Remember, if you're dealing with lots and lots of commas here, the simplest is best razor blade concept. One comma is better than two. When in doubt, go with less. In this particular case, A has no commas. That's going to be the correct answer. Problem number 20. It's an anti-razor blade. We're looking for sensory details to describe the fair. What gives you a sense of feeling? G is going to be clip-clop. That's sensory. 21, the correct answer here is going to be based off of the candy list rule. In answer choice A, we underline vendors, and B, we talk about peddling wares. Answer choice C, we're going to go ahead and say king-size turkeys, subgenus map, and answer choice D says vendors peddle. All right, then what you do is you simply look up and see what the heck we're talking about here. It looks like we're dealing with a fair. All right, and fairs are going to have people that peddle. So first of all, we can get rid of C, and we can get rid of answer choice B, peddling wares. All right, you label it vendors, comma, ranging. That's a violation of a comma, and D is the better answer choice for 21. 22, it's Formula B. Which choice gives you the subject of the paragraph and the rest of the essay? Just think about what we did here and talk about what we're looking for the whole essay. Look at your topic sentences and jump around and make sure that what you have in there is going to be matching. 23, it's going to be a combo. We're going to go ahead and label answer choice A. That looks like the first part with a period there. It's a violation. That's a dependent clause. It's a fragment, so that's not going to work in A. Answer choice B. B has the word we, which is already repeated in the sentence, so that's a violation of razor blade. You don't want to say something twice in a sentence. Answer choice C, it's a comma after speech. Then substituting, that's going to be a little mini definition of the word right before it. Dot comma means that you have two independent clauses down here, and we already know that's not true because the first part is a dependent clause. 23 is C. Problem number 24 is the tense rule. If you look over here, the answer choice is going to match with served. ED goes with ED. Answer choice F, it's going to be past matches with past. 25 is the M&M rule. The M&M rule, remember, we have who and whom, and the M's go together. So we're going to match whom with him. So him is going to be the male version. So him is going to go with her. So that means whenever you see the M's go together, match that. All right? An easier way to think of this is always use the word who unless you have him or her in here. If you look over here, we have a person, so you know that we're going to probably deal with who. That's D for 25. M&M rule, answer choice B, razor blade for 25 is too long. 26, we're going to use a little bit of commas and razor blade. Shortest answer choice here is J. And then if you look at answer choice F and answer choice G, they have the word they, which would make that an independent clause on the back end. That's going to violate what we have with a comma. All right, remember, we're going to have two commas. One comma is going to be an independent and a dependent clause on that one. All right, then you're left with H and J. J is a little bit shorter, so J is the correct answer for 26. 27, it's a Formula B gap filler. It's at the end of the sentence down over here, and what you want to do is first link your paragraph topic sentences together and see that how they're related. Summer temperatures, and then we have fairgoers, so fairgoers and summer temperatures, and then here you see theme park characters. So does theme park characters match with fairgoers and summer temperatures? No, it's off topic, so we want to get rid of the yeses. It's going to be answer choice C for that one. 28, real easy. It is razor blades. Simple is best. All right. Short answer choices are going to be good. The difference between H and J is J says stuff. That's a little bit informal according to this passage. H is the correct answer. Razor blade and formal versus informal. All right. 29 is going to be a structural clues problem. First thing you want to do is you want to label your answer choices here together opposite. In answer choice A, it says, however, that is going to be opposite. Answer choice B says, for example. C, one time, that's going to be together, and then opposite here for instead. Then you go ahead and look and see how these are working together. Here it says explained, and then it says asked. So asking and explaining, you see that's going to be together. We can cross out D instead, and we can cross out, however, A in no change. So if you explain and then you ask, is that one time or is that an example? It's structural clues, or in other terminology, Scooby-Dooing a structural clue problem in English, that is a pirate flag in the reading section. 30, real easy. J is the correct answer here. Check delete first. If you can get it out of there and the sentence still makes sense, that's the better answer choice. The most prevalent rule on ACT English grammar, razor blade. 31, we're going to use abandoned boxcar. You label your clauses up here. So you got your clauses dependent, dependent, dependent. All right. Then what we could do is we could come over here and take a look at what we have left and try and figure out what's going on. So if we did that, we would get out, in Reynolds Country, Missouri, a 1 billion-gallon blast of water caused. All right, so you got your 1 billion, just prune that out, and then you're going to have the remaining clause on that one. Okay, that's going to give you an answer choice A, prune using the abandoned boxcar. 32, hazy. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you understand what's going on. If you look at problem number 31, you see that we have water. And what is water? Water isn't it. All right, match it up. 33, we're going to use the pups rule in abandoned boxcar. Pups apostrophe S. That means it's going to be singular possessive. So here we have parks. It's one park that owns its own beauty. That's going to give you answer choice B, and it's going to give you answer choice D. If you look at answer choice A, there's no possession. The park does not own its beauty. That's wrong. And C says PARK. S apostrophe on the outside, which means plural parks with the beauty. So with the pups rule, we can get rid of A and C. Now the difference between answer choice B and answer choice D is comma versus no comma. Then you convert over to abandoned boxcar. In this case, we're going to use answer choice B for the correct answer. 34, structural clues. If you look over here, first one is F. It says specifically, that's going to be together. Ultimately, that's going to be together. Instead is opposite, and thus is a conclusion. Then what you do is you look over and see we have the word though, and then now you want to simply match up the word though, and though is going to go with ultimately. All right, you wouldn't say though and then instead. H, that doesn't make any sense. And then here we have thus a conclusion that's not going to be correct. So I would basically get out answer choice J, and I would get out answer choice H. I've got ultimately left and specifically, then I would use your ears, see which one sounds better. Answer choice F, specifically, that sounds weird. Get it out of there. 35, tense rule, make it match. Begun versus began, all right? And then you want to go ahead and get that out of there. Begun is past tense, so B and D are both out, so we're left with answer choice A and C. It's had begun to develop or began to develop. It's 4 words versus 2. Razor blade wins. Short, simple is best when you got 2 answer choices that match. 36 dot, comma. It's 2 independent clauses. You see that we don't have that. The second part is a dependent clause. So we can go ahead and cross out answer choice G. You'll notice that answer choice F over here also has a period, which is 2 independent clauses. And you see that we have a second part fragment after the word ago. So F and G are both out. Then you just simply plug them in, see which one sounds a little bit better. H is the correct answer. I always check J first and see how it flows. It sounds like it's a little bit weird, so answer choice H is better. J sounds weird. 37, razor blade, cooled, lowered in temperature. That's the same thing. Cooled down and lowered temperature, they're synonyms. We don't want to repeat ourselves. D, simple as best, no redundancy. D for 37. 38, abandoned boxcar. And remember, no commas is going to equal the independent clause. So when in doubt, razor blade says no commas better than 2 commas. No commas better than 1 comma if you're debating. Answer choice A for 38. Kids, let's take a look at problem number 39. Problem 39, if you look back at the previous page over here, it's page 7. You're going to look, and I can't pull it up on the sheet here, but look in the first paragraph. It's line 1, 2, 3, 4, line 5. Line 5, you're going to see that it says shut-ins on line 5, right in the middle of the page, shut-ins. All right? And then in this particular problem here, we have the underlined portion shut in, so we do want to keep that because it refers back to something a little bit earlier. So the correct answer for 39 is going to be B. Remember, formula B, you always want to look around in the previous paragraph topic sentences. 40, it's going to be a combo problem. If you look at answer choice G, answer choice G, it's got a dot comma. A dot comma is 2 independent clauses. The second part is a fragment or dependent clause. We can get that out of there. Answer choice J has got the wrong tense, created, ed, that's wrong. And so we're going to get rid of G because it violates dot comma. J is the wrong tense. We're left with answer choice H and answer choice F. All right? If you take a look at the rest here, we're listing some stuff off. H is the correct answer for 40. 41, we're going to use its versus their. Remember, ITS means singular animal or an object with possession, and THEIR is going to be plural possessive. It could be plural possessive of animal, object, or humans. ITS can only be animal or an object. Answer choice A is going to be the correct answer for 41. Pigs rule, PIGS, plural goes to singular and vice versa, singular goes to plural. So this is called the subject-verb agreement. If you look up here, you see that we have channels, and that's singular, so you're going to match that up with contains, all right? Singular goes to plural. We're going to have J. Pigs rule, 42. 43, hazy. If you look at the answer choices, A says some, that's hazy. B says those, that's hazy. C says swimmers, it's specific. And then answer choice D says all types of outdoor people. It's too informal and also doesn't really specify what kind of outdoor people. Swimmers is more specific. 43, correct answer, hazy rule, C. D, razor blade. 44, J is going to be our correct answer for 44, razor blade. Check delete first. 45, we're going to use abandoned boxcar here. If you look at answer choice B, simply place your comma, write it in. After astronomers, you're going to read from the beginning up to astronomers. I was an experienced astronomer, comma, and then you're going to continue working on there. Okay, place it in there and see that in answer choice B, it's double commas, Mr. Chung, cross it out. That's going to be a violation. If you look at D, we're going to put a comma in after though. When we read all the way up, I was expecting astronomers though, that's dependent. And then you read from though all the way, light polluted skies, that's dependent. That violates abandoned boxcar. D is out, abandoned boxcar. C, dot, dot, cosmic, double dots. I love DQ, list, description, direct quote. That's not what you see. A is the correct answer. Remember, when in doubt, go simple. Less punctuation is better. 45A. 46, hazy. If you look at the answers, being and F, that's hazy. G says them, that's hazy. And J says having been. All right, H is the correct answer on 46. Hazy rule. 47, Mr. Chung, if you look down over here for 47, you're going to see that in 47 we have this hunter right here, and we can cross that out, read from the beginning to the end, and that's still going to be a complete sentence. So the correct answer on that one for 47 is going to be answer choice A. 48, tense, we have has been, past, were, past plural, are, present, plural, and is, singular, present. Here it says over here we have 3, so it's going to be present, plural. That's going to give you the word are, which is answer choice H for 48. 49, abandoned boxcar. Abandoned boxcar, we're going to go ahead and read up to collapse. That's going to be independent clause. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and see that we have a dependent clause on the back end. That's a mini definition of the collapse. What is it? It's the stars forming. All right, independent, comma, dependent. C, 49, use the abandoned boxcar. Problem 50, you see that we've got double commas in there. Mr. Chung, here it is right here. You just simply cross out Mr. Chung. And then you see you've got the noun and the verb sitting next to each other. Nebula is verb. All right, is often called. All right, 50, J, Mr. Chung. 51, here we're going to go ahead and look at nebula here, and then nebula here. All right, and we're going to go ahead and just simply place that in the correct order. D is the correct answer. Just match this area up here. 51 is D. Problem number 51 is going to be some structural clues. First thing I do, I come over here, I label these answer choices T or O coincidentally. So that's going to be T. Similarly, T besides is going to be O, and so is together as well. Then I read the sentence above here and the sentence below, see how they're matching. You see right away when we do that, it's not opposite, so H can be crossed out right away. Is it similar? Are these two things similar? No. And then is it a coincidence, or are they just continuing on saying something different? It's going to be answer choice J. They're just continuing on. 53, it's tense. If you look over here, you've got an ED in the answer choice and an ED up here switched. The answer choice that's no change is A, ED, tried. Past tense matches with past tense. 54, we're going to go over here, and you're going to see the difference between there, there, and there. In the answer choice F, it looks like we have no change. THEIR, plural possessive. Answer choice G talks about them, and answer choice H talks about they, and J talks about one. So here we're going to try and match it up. Here you see the word them, and then later in the sentence they're talking about them as well. You're just going to match it up. G is the correct answer on that one. Here is 55, formula B. It says the writer's considering deleting the previous sentence. So just simply go ahead and take a look at your topic sentence to see, are we off topic? If we are, we can delete it. If we're not, in this case, we do not delete it. We're going to keep it. That means C and D are both out. Then you just read both of these choices. Focus on the noun and the verb. The difference on that one, B is the answer. 56, we're looking at commas. Remember, commas, less is better. 2 commas versus 1. When in doubt, go with less. That is the whole concept on the test here. 56, less commas is going to be answer choice H. If you look at answer choice G and J, those are bad positions for commas, because when you label independent and dependent, there is an abandoned boxcar violation. Answer choice H for 56. 57 it looks like we have the difference between illuminated and illuminated. It's a vocabulary word. Illuminated is like lighting it up. Answer choice A, it's vocabulary. 58, pups rule. If you look over here, pups, we have stars, and then we want to match it up. Answer choice F says birds. That's plural possessive. Birds own their own eggs, and here we have these stars, which is going to be plural. So here, answer choice F is going to be the correct answer. Plural possessive. Answer choice G with one apostrophe after the D, that tells you it's one bird with one egg. All right, F is the correct answer for 58. Moving along to 59, it's a formula A. What I did starting off here is I subgenius mapped here. In answer choice A, it says observing these features. And then answer choice B says averted vision, observed Orion, and then answer choice here talks about the star clusters. Then what I did is I looked on the previous page down over here and saw what they're talking about to try and get a feel for what the sentence is about. And then I looked at the rest of the essay, including the title and the topic sentences. I derived answer choice A for the correct answer on that one, formula A. Formula A again for 56, you look at your title, you look at your topic sentence, and then what you do is you get rid of this stuff here. Suppose the author had intended to write an essay about, would this fulfill the goal? When you got that out of there, it says here we have a personal experience about astronomy. Look at the title, look at the topic sentence. Is this a personal account of some type of astronomy? Title, topic sentences, you see the answer is yes. We get rid of the no's, then you subgenius map on the one word difference between F and G. G is the correct answer. Remember, kids, formula A, you want to look at the title, you want to look at all the topic sentences, and then you want to see one of the answer choices. It's either yes or no, or you're going to subgenius map with the nouns that appear in the answer choices first, subgenius mapping style. Answer choice G for 60. 61 is razor blade, simple as best. D for that one. 62, Mr. Chung. Which choice punctuated here makes it clear that all the shapes here are a little painted here. If you take a look at answer choice G, you got Chung here. What's between the Mr. Chung stuff is going to be a mini definition of the word that's right before it. Here, shapes. So this stuff here between the dashes is going to illustrate and give you a mini definition of the word right before it. In this case, shapes, G. On to the final batch, kids. It's problem number 63. We're going to use a little bit of Mr. Chung here in answer choice B. There's a comma after subject. He said, we can go ahead and cross that out. When you cross that out, the sentence gets shorter. It's non-essential information. The sentence still holds up. Mr. Chung, 63B. 64, formula B. Look over here at this new sentence here and ask yourself if that's going to relate you back to the topic sentence. Little also says Syracuse University earned an MFA in 1976, was a blah, 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 blah. Look at the topic sentence. You see that doesn't really have anything to do. We're going off topic. We're talking about an MFA at a different university. So that's off topic. We don't want to keep it. It's going to get rid of it. F, G are out. H is the correct answer. So we are going to see here also in the answer there's a pirate flag. All right, formula B, look at your topic sentences. 65, razor blade, simple as best. If you look over here, answer choice D is the shortest one for 65. That is going to be razor blade D, 65. 66, vocabulary and use your ears. You just simply plug in the word in the sentence. The sentence is not too long. See which one sounds a little bit better. Voluptuous means kind of heavy set or chubby. And then mountainous is kind of like a mountain. And large means large. Answer choice. G says immeasurable means you cannot measure it. J is the better answer choice, 66, J. 67, structural clues. If you come over here in your structural clues, you label your underlined portion T or O together or opposite, and then think about the good stinky rule. A says by all means. That means the two clauses, if you use that, are going to be in the same value of the good stinky rule, plus plus or minus minus. That's not the case. If you look over here, B says, for example, you're going to see that when you say something and then you give an example thereafter. So both of those sentences are going in the same direction. So we're going to put a dot by that one. C says contrast. That's O, opposite. If you look at the value of the sentence or the clause before and the sentence clause after, you're going to see that that is not going opposite. We can cross out answer choice C. Then answer choice D says thereafter. After relates to time. So if you look, B is the better answer choice on this one because it's not by all means and it's not dealing with something in a timeline. It's simply giving you an example. Another way of thinking about this is if you give an example, you're going to start off with something in general and then thereafter you're going to give an example which is going to be specific. I like sports. That's very general. For example, I like soccer. Soccer is a very specific of the general category sports. Remember, it's general going to specific when you use for instance or for example. Answer choice B for 67. 68, it's an ly ending problem. Trap on the test, make sure that you see the not word here. That means three choices are true. One of them is not going to be used correctly. Ly ending means that we're going to deal with an adverb. Quick review of what an adverb is. An adverb adds to the verb. So simply go in, label your nouns, label your verbs, and then look at the ly ending and see is that giving you a modification of the verb. Professor Thomas ran. Professor Thomas noun. Verb is ran. Professor Thomas ran fastly. Fastly modifies how fast I ran. All right, fastly is modifying run, which is the verb. All right, moving right along. 70 is going to be, 69, Mr. Chung. We're going to go ahead and think about Mr. Chung's chin. Some kids haven't learned this rule. Real quick, you have Mr. Chung's chin looks like a W. Which versus that. Which is going to fall in the non-essential piece of information that's either going to be between the commas, dashes, or brackets, or at the end of the dependent clause. Which is non-essential. Just simply make a note if you don't know this rule. Which is non-essential, so it's going to be between commas or in a dependent clause. Whenever you see the word that is essential. So the word that will never be in a dependent clause area and a comma. There'll be a comma, and then the dependent clause, the word that will never be there, or that will never be in between the Mr. Chung comma stuff, which is non-essential, and that is essential. Further explanation on this rule, it's quite tricky. Please see the professor. 70, short, simple, razor blade. J is the correct answer over here on that one. Going on to 71. 71, we are dealing with the pigs rule. Pigs rule, plural to singular. Singular going to plural, vice versa. It goes both ways. Here, if you take a look, we have 3 vertical. That's plural. And so we're going to have to match it with cut, which is singular. 3 plural goes to singular. Answer choice C, 71. Pigs rule. 72, prune it. We're going to come over here and see, we're going to get rid of this garbage over here starting with in. And we're going to knock all this stuff out, prune this. The sentence becomes quite a bit shorter. And now you're going to be able to answer the question correctly. All right, so there it is right there. And then you have your works. All right, it says, Little explains the internal spaces, rhythm, and unity to the whole work. All right, answer choice F is the correct answer. Remember, prune it out of there. Get rid of extra dependent clauses. Mr. Chung stuff in the middle of the sentence, dependent clauses at the end, and mummy wedges. So that's answer choice F for 72. 73, razor blade, short and simple. If you look over here, you're going to get rid of answer choice A and answer choice B based upon the razor blade. Now we're left with C and D. Plug it in, see which one sounds a little bit better. I start with D, but it sounds weird, so I'm going to go with C. Answer choice C for 73. 74, subgenius map. We come over here, take a look at our nouns, musical reference, popularity. Here we're going to go assessments of Little's work, and then over here it says reach the goals. Here we're talking about the jazz collaboration, so that's a reference to music. Jazz and music, Scooby-Doo synonym. F for 74. 75, first thing you want to do is get rid of suppose the author had intended to write an essay about it, and then would this essay fulfill that goal? We get rid of that junk, and now you see the good stuff is artists use simple elements to convey large ideas. All right, is this artist conveying simple elements to talk about larger ideas, go back, look at your title, look at your topic sentence, and see that the answer is yes. We cross out the no's. Then you go back, you look at the one-word difference between the correct answer choice, and you see that B is the correct answer. Kids, thanks for watching, and that's it for 73G English. Bye for now.